Having the right tool for the job is important. It makes your workflow go smoother, faster, and more efficient. And in music production, the most commonly seen tool is probably the MIDI controller. MIDI controllers are not absolutely necessary, as you'll see many producers simply using their mouse and computer keyboard to program everything, or they will only use and record real instruments. However, if you do use MIDI a lot and you have basic piano skills, a MIDI keyboard can seriously speed up your workflow. Now, which MIDI controller is right for you? There is a huge variety of MIDI controllers, and in this video we will have a look at the two most common: piano keys and pads. MIDI keyboards will look familiar to most people. They have piano keys that will allow you to play chromatically in any key. And if you're already familiar with how to play the piano, you will already know how to use a MIDI keyboard. Pads, on the other hand, may look less familiar for people that are not experienced with digital music production. They consist of square buttons or pads that can be used to play samples or MIDI instruments or to control your digital audio workspace. The first thing that comes to mind when you see pads may be drums. Especially on MIDI controllers with both keys and pads, like this Akai MPK Mini MK3. But pad controllers are way more versatile than that and can be used to play melodies, chords, and for controlling your DAW. You can, for example, use a pad controller as a mixer as well. One very useful feature of the pad controller is that you can customize the layout yourself. You can, for example, switch between diatonic and chromatic scales, and you can also select different root notes, different scales, and different playing styles. So let us look at some of the pros and cons of piano keys versus pads. Pros for piano keys. Piano keys let you modulate and change keys more easily. If you know music theory or are familiar with the piano, a keyboard will be more natural. The piano is something all musicians should know, so it's a good way to learn the basic functions of a piano keyboard if you're not already familiar with it. Playing chords is more natural on piano keys since the shape of the chords will always stay the same. Pads pros. If you have limited piano skills, pads can be more intuitive and approachable. Improvising melodies is easier because you'll always find yourself in the correct key. You can customize the layout to fit perfectly for your current need. Playing drums is more intuitive on pads. Piano keys cons. If you are a beginner or you're not familiar with music theory, piano keys can make it hard to stay in the correct key without playing wrong notes. You have fewer or none customization options with piano keys. Playing drums is less intuitive. Pads cons. Changing keys mid-song while performing is more challenging and only possible if you have a chromatic layout. Playing chords is less straightforward and the shape of the chords change based on your current layout. Pads also depend more on compatibility between hardware and software, meaning that control pads are often designed with specific software in mind, so you might not get all the features of your hardware if it's not designed for your DAW. As you can see, MIDI controllers are powerful tools that can really speed up your workflow and that can also help you capture your ideas quicker and more efficiently. And hopefully this video has helped you to understand a little bit the difference between piano keys and pads, or which one might be right for you. Or also, if you have one of them and you're curious about the other, if it will be worth it for you to supplement it. If there are more topics you're interested in and you would like to see a video about, feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. So thank you, see you in the next video, and in the meantime you can check out this video about 5 creative mistakes you are probably doing.